In a world where the ring decides the fate of dreams, a new storm is brewing. And at the center of it stands a young man from Camden, New Jersey, Raymond Ford, the one they call the Savage. With every bout, every punch, every stare into the soul of his opponents, he's climbed through weight classes, conquering territories with the fire of a man on a mission. In a recent interview, you could feel the buzz in the air as Ford spoke about moving up to super featherweight. His excitement wasn't boastful, it was a fire burning beneath a calm exterior. The boxing world took notice. Because Ford wasn't just another prospect. He was the star boy, the chosen one many believed had the weapons to do what no man has done before, hand Naoya Inoue his first loss. Then, as if the prophecy was being written in real time, came a moment that dropped jaws, a vicious knockdown. Cameras caught it. Voices rose. "Is that a knockdown?" Someone cried. It was. And it wasn't lucky. It was cold, calculated violence. Those shots weren't wild. They were meant to land, and they did. The opponent folded under the barrage, crashing to the canvas. The message was clear. The Savage had arrived, and he wasn't here to play games. With a destructive right hook that echoed through arenas and a chip on his shoulder from a childhood laced with hardship, Ford wasn't just chasing belts, he was hunting legacies. Growing up in the streets of Camden, survival wasn't just a metaphor. It was the air he breathed. But Ford clawed his way up, crowned champion in both the featherweight and super featherweight divisions within just 5 years as a pro. He wasn't supposed to make it here, but he did. And now, he had his sights set on the king. Before this collision could take place, Naoya Inoue, the monster himself, had his own business to handle. In September 2024, under the bright lights of Tokyo, he faced off against T.J. Doheny. On paper, it was a respectable clash. But in reality, it became something far more brutal. Doheny, the former IBF Super Bantamweight champion, came in confident, even cocky. But confidence can be a mask for fear. And soon, that mask crumbled. Inoue didn't feel the need to dance or jab his way into the fight. He abandoned the subtle arts and went straight to his power. His fists landed like thunder, especially the big right hands. But Doheny was no slouch either. With a 77% knockout rate, his left hook could end nights early. For a while, it looked like the Irishman might land something nasty. The Tokyo crowd could feel the tension. Then came the shift. Inoue upped the tempo, and the air inside the arena thickened with danger. The two engaged in a violent chess match at the center of the ring, neither willing to blink first. Doheny started to look lost, like he was searching for a corner that didn't exist. He fired back with his dangerous hook, but Inoue was now reading every move like a seasoned general. He countered counters, slipped through openings, and punished Doheny with pinpoint rights. The punishment started piling up. His bald head was taking hits from angles that defied reason. There was a moment, brief, quiet, terrifying, when Doheny returned to his stool at the end of round 6. He looked like a man stitched back together. Inoue had broken him down piece by piece. And when the bell rang for round 7, the monster went for the kill. A ferocious body assault left Doheny clutching his back. He dropped to a knee, a silent surrender in the middle of a war. The referee waved it off. Doheny was done. Inoue barely celebrated. His face was stone cold, like the victory wasn't enough. Maybe he expected more resistance. Maybe he was already thinking about the next hunt. Meanwhile, across the ocean, Raymond Ford was carving out his own path in blood and glory. In 2024, Ford met Uzbek powerhouse Odobek Kolmatov, a fight that would crown a new world champion. With only seconds remaining in the final round, Ford dug deep into his savage instincts and dropped the hammer, stopping Kolmatov just before the final bell. It was dramatic, poetic, and violent. The kind of ending that lets the world know who's ready for the spotlight. Then came April 2025. Ford stepped up again, this time facing the rugged Puerto Rican warrior Orlando Gonzalez in his hometown, Philadelphia, Wells Fargo Center. The stakes were massive. The spotlight is brighter than ever. But Ford was unfazed. He moved with intent, boxing on his terms, jabbing with laser precision, and unloading hooks that thudded like drums of war. Gonzalez wasn't an easy man to break. Near undefeated, dangerous, and bigger, he looked ready to test the savage. But in round 2, Ford changed the script. A short left hook followed by a destructive right made Gonzalez sit down involuntarily. The crowd exploded. The savage wasn't just here to win. He was here to dominate. In round 3, Ford targeted the body with surgical accuracy. He was smart and poised, but relentless. Even as Gonzalez tried to fight back, Ford answered with volume, grit, and speed. A huge right sent Gonzalez into survival mode, backing up and hugging just to breathe. But Ford kept coming, pushing the pace and showing why he was on another level. Even when backed up, Ford showcased his ability to inflict pain. A sneaky right, followed by a thunderous left, made Gonzalez wobble like a puppet cut from its strings. He did the chicken dance, barely able to stand. And then, another right hook from deep inside Ford's soul sent him crashing again. At this point, the Puerto Rican had no answers. Ford had broken him down, round by round, until nothing was left but will, and that too began to fade. The bell saved Gonzalez from what could have been a night-ending beating, but everyone watching knew, a new champion had been born in front of their eyes. Ford lifted the WBA Continental North America Super Featherweight title and looked straight into the camera, his eyes quietly declaring war on Naoya Inoue. Inoue, meanwhile, was rewriting history in his own fashion. Later that year, Inoue stepped into the ring with Marlon Tapales of the Philippines. A unification bout that had history and legacy written all over it. Inoue had already unified the bantamweight division. Now, he was on the doorstep of becoming undisputed at super bantamweight. The air inside the Ariake Arena was electric. Tapales came in hungry. He threw with bad intentions, looking to shock the Japanese faithful with a haymaker from the heavens. But Inoue remained composed, studying him like a surgeon before the cut. He didn't panic. He calculated. And then, the monster began to unleash. Bulo punches, slicing jabs, and short hooks that ripped through Tapales's defense. A massive left dropped him to the canvas. The crowd gasped. Tapales got up, but the look in his eyes had changed. What followed was a barrage, a relentless display of precision violence. Tapales showed heart, no doubt. He stood tall, took the shots, and even landed a few. But he was drowning. Inoue was momentarily winded, but he rallied and, in the 10th round, uncorked 2 right hands that made Tapales stumble back and hit the canvas hard. His body dropped, but his brain was still catching up, lost in a fog of confusion. He couldn't beat the count. Inoue became the undisputed champion at 122 pounds, his second undisputed title across 2 weight classes. A feat only one other man had accomplished. Terence Crawford. Inoue's knockout ratio in world title fights now stood at a ridiculous 90.4%. The numbers don't lie. The monster was still the apex predator. But back in the U.S., Ray Ford wasn't slowing down. In 2023, before the world started to whisper his name with more weight, he fought Jesse Magdaleno in New York. A former world champ looking to regain lost glory, Magdaleno was supposed to be a test. Ford turned him into a footnote. From the opening bell, Ford showed he was on another level. His movement was slick, his left hook deadly. He picked Magdaleno apart with clean shots that landed like punctuation marks. A beautiful left to the jaw made Jesse take a knee early. He got up, but it was clear he was hurt. And Ford could smell it. He went to work. Body shots, head shots, angles, counters. It was a masterclass in pressure boxing. Magdaleno tried to rally, but Ford kept dragging him into deeper waters. A massive right hook twisted Magdaleno's footing and sent him down again. The man didn't even know where he was. Ford walked over like a hunter closing in. The referee didn't need convincing. It was over. Ray Ford raised his hands, made his statement, and said the words the world was waiting for. He was coming for Inoue. And now the table is set. The monster, Naoya Inoue, stoic, ruthless, battle-tested. The man who silences crowds with his fists and rewrites record books every time he steps into the ring. And the savage, Raymond Ford, young, hungry, and powerful. The man who turned pain into purpose and is now knocking at greatness's front door. The collision course is real. Two paths, carved through chaos and competition, are about to intersect. One is looking to protect the crown. The other is trying to snatch it off his head. Will the monster prove yet again why he's a once-in-a-generation force? Or will the savage do the unthinkable and become the first man to stop him? We're standing on the edge of history. And when the bell rings, the world will be watching.